Welcome to the You Can Man podcast, episode 64. I'm Josh.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Dave.
And on this week's episode, Father's Day Gift Guide 2020.
All right, guys, welcome back to the You Can Man podcast, where we believe what one man can do, you can do as well with a little help from your friends and the proper know-how. Hey, Father's Day is upon us yet again.
Coming up.
And we decided last year that we were going to make this an annual tradition about putting out a You Can Man Father's Day gift guide. And so this is going to be our 2020 gift guide.
Yeah, I feel like Father's Day is making broad generalizations here, but it's kind of like the total phone it in holiday for most people.
How so, Josh?
There's just Mother's Day. There's like a big focus. Like, let's get it right. Let's go.
Yeah, Father's Day is just like, yeah.
Father's Day is like, well, most fathers are like, I don't want anything.
Yeah, I don't care.
Or they're like super picky and they're like, don't get me anything because I'm probably not going to like it. So you're just like, okay, here's a tie, here's socks.
Oh, I got plenty of stuff on my list.
Here's a pocket knife, whatever.
I don't expect anything on Father's Day.
I never expect.
Yeah, I wouldn't
that.
expect anything either. But it's the one day of the year where you can kind of just make demands and be like, this is what I would like to do, and it might happen, right?
That's true, I guess. Yeah,
that's a bonus.
It's a good like checkout day.
Yeah, you can either check out or check in.
My gift to you is you go do what you want.
We had I think it was maybe my suggestion. I don't know whose suggestion it was. It was a padded zero gravity chair, last year's list. And my wife bought that chair for me.
For real?
Yes.
You didn't tell me about that. Can I sit in it? Where is it?
Oh, it's awesome. It's actually sitting at my friend Brandon's house.
I've got one,
but
it's
thing
not.
Looks like.
I've got one. It's not padded. It's
Is it like a beanbag chair?
Padded is
just the mesh.
The padded is where it's at.
Okay.
You got to get the padded.
Does it strike your calf right? Because
yes,
mine's too short.
This one is XL.
Oh, you're talking about like the reclining.
You could be 300 plus pounds and massive dude and sit in this thing.
Okay, because mine cuts
We're not
off
talking
the
about weight.
circulation.
Yeah, we're talking about height because you get the bar on the calf.
I know what you mean, and it hits you slightly, but not nearly to the point of the other ones. I know what you mean because we're all tall dudes,
right?
And that bar, the support bar, always hits your leg
right
wrong.
in your Achilles, and then your feet go to sleep.
Yeah, it's made for someone who's 5'9" on the dot.
Yep.
And
yeah, I almost want to put that chair on the list again. It's that awesome.
Dang.
Yeah.
You need to try it out.
But we'll see. So we're going to get into that later on the show. Our You Can Man Father's Day Gift Guide 2020. Okay, guys, what's been up?
I put it on the Facebook group. And again, I'm just amazed at how much that thing is blowing up. There's so many cool projects, a lot of smart guys on there.
And gals.
A lot of smart humans.
A lot of smart people.
In the group. Yeah, I built a picnic table for a squirrel. I put that on.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing I've done in 2 weeks. I have a built-in that I've mentioned that is in its current state that it was 2 weeks ago.
This is for target practice?
No. Well, it could be. But yeah, we saw it on the internet actually before Mark Rober. You know Mark Rober. Anyway, YouTube guy, scientist, ex-NASA engineer guy, makes all these cool things. He made a squirrel Ninja Warrior course, which is amazing.
Yes, I saw that.
You learn so much about squirrels on that video. And then at the very end, he has a squirrel picnic table, which I had built without this knowledge. Anyway, my boys put some nuts on that picnic table. I mounted it to the side of their treehouse swing set thing. Within the squirrels, their smell is so amazing. My older son ran out there early morning, put nuts on top of the table, came back, they're eating their breakfast, and the squirrel's on the ground sniffing, climbs the ladder, climbs the pole, gets right on the picnic table.
We're using like
eating.
peanuts?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, like, what did we? Yes, peanuts. Anyway, it's fun. Kids love it. It's crazy. Go for it.
Hey, you can, kid.
Yeah.
A squirrel picnic table.
Heard there were plans out there.
About it.
I did it all freehand in my mind. But
Good
I thought that was great.
there's some templates out there.
Did you use like a jigsaw or what? How'd you?
Some jigsaw work, mostly dangerous miter saw work.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
Listen, it's not that great, but it's a good idea.
It's top is PVC.
How dare you?
Top is PVC, in case you're wondering.
Whoa.
Leftover PVC. So,
Nice.
yeah. It's not going anywhere.
So it's like reclaimed materials.
Yes, extra scraps.
I didn't really get a whole lot done this weekend because I was like, I'm cleaning up the garage this weekend because like we've been cooped up, right, for the last two and a half months. And so the place is a little bit. It's a little bit shabby right now. And the garage in particular, because the kids are outside so much and they're running around the garage and they're knocking things over, doesn't get picked up. It just compounds on itself day after day. So it's a wreck out there. But I just kind of like swam around there for like an entire Saturday. You know what I mean? Like we're like, I'm going to get this done.
Just milled around the
You
garage.
milled around, you like pick some stuff up, but then other stuff gets put down. You're like, there's a project. I'm going to go do that. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, I haven't done it. It looks worse.
That's
now.
the worst feeling when you get to the end of the day and you're like, what did I actually
And you're like,
accomplish
there's no
today?
more time. And man, that's a bummer. So whatever. Oh, well.
I felt like that a good bit on this loft bed project I'm doing.
Dude, that loft bed is coming together.
It's insane. I mean, so it keeps compounding
Yep.
with extra stuff. So my wife wanted to put string lights up underneath it where their desks are.
Obviously.
And then I was like, well, where are you going to plug that in at? And we're like, well, might as well put an outlet
Just put
in.
in a new outlet.
Just put an outlet in up there, and then there's not a near outlet over here. So I ended up adding 3 additional outlets on top of the 2 that I'd
wow.
already done.
You can never, ever have enough outlets in a room.
So
though.
I was like, okay, look, I can do it. Whenever my wife asks me, it'd be cool if we could, and I'm like, well,
It could be done.
we could do that.
Yeah.
We could do that. But I was like, this is going to take a long time. So I just took the time and I did it.
Hey, there you go.
I mean,
Everybody's happy now.
these things are insane. I don't think that they're going to be able to appreciate what they have.
Well,
but-
I kind of laughed about it and I said, those beds look great. Your daughters are going to enjoy them for, the next 3 or 4 years until they're done with them. And you said, no. These are the grandkids' beds.
Oh, yeah,
They're not
totally-
coming down.
They are totally grandkids' beds because I was talking to my wife. I was like, maybe this could be like the guest room. And she's like, you want our guests to sleep? And I was like, look, these things are like full-size, legit adult. I mean, yes. I think it could legitimately be a guest room and guests could sleep in the loft.
For guests under 30.
I mean, these things are nice, guys.
If
Okay,
I-
we could Airbnb this.
Yeah, if I spend the night, I'll be like, I want the loft. Calling
Dude.
it.
Now, 2 of our 3 bedrooms have loft beds because I have one in my son's room too. It's
When
just a
you're-
good maximizer of space.
Yeah, when you're a kid, I never had a bunk bed, but that was like the dream, right? That's that's level 1 dream when you're a kid is having a bunk bed. So
Yeah.
a loft bed is next level, I think.
The thing I've got to figure out is how to do the ladder. I've never really built a ladder ever other than on my son's loft bed, and I use pipe.
Just do a rope and it builds upper body strength and
I
resourcefulness.
don't know what I'm going to do. Well, we did actually think about doing like a rope ladder,
There you go.
knots and anyways. So I got to figure that out next. But I am nearing the finish line. But then I got to fill all the nail holes and paint. So that's going to be crazy.
That's the fun part.
Yeah.
Wood filler.
Okay, well, let's get into this Father's Day gift guide 2020. So what we did last year is we looked up a list. What website was that on last year? I don't remember.
I couldn't tell you. It's like a GQ type.
Yeah,
that's right.
something like that. And so we kind of gave our take on a lot of the items that they had on there. And a lot of them were just crap.
It's
Yeah, I
not
remember
good.
my wife actually remembered this one specifically because it was the most insane one to us. It was the mushrooms on a log. Do you remember that? Like,
Yes.
it's like a log.
The shiitake mushrooms on a log.
Like you could give someone the log that would grow mushrooms like on their desk.
Yeah,
for
totally.
people, I guess, who are city folk who don't get to see enough nature.
Right.
Yeah,
People who are into
so anyway,
shrooms.
yeah, that was
Yeah, do not get your dad that.
Whatever happened to like the world's greatest dad mug or so? I literally bought my dad. I think they were socks, and it either said "dad" or "world's greatest dad" on them. I feel
it's like
like
the world's best boss mug.
if somebody gave me that, if my kids gave me that, I'd be like, "Thank you, thank
You
you."
would appreciate that.
Yeah,
All right.
that's a classic
good.
gift right there.
Okay. So what we've done is I've got a couple websites. One is CNN.com. They just released today.
Might have heard of it.
Today they released their Father's Day gift ideas. And we also got the Today Show, also popular.
Yeah.
And one of them is better than the others. There's going to be good and bad on both lists.
Well, I don't think that they're any kind of resource for dad gift ideas.
Look,
Unfortunately.
I've already got some ideas on some of these, so we just need to jump in.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you type in Father's Day Gift Guide 2020, these are some of the first hits. So
Gotcha.
if your children / spouse is going on there to look, they might come across this. So we're going to educate some folks.
Right, and we're not going to go through all of these,
No.
but we'll post a link on our show
Now
notes.
let's go through all of them, please.
on our website. So when I say show notes, I mean on our actual blog, You Can Man. So we will definitely be posting the link to this article, our Father's Day gift guide, on our Facebook group and other places, obviously. So definitely check that out. But the one that I'm noticing here, okay, so this is on the CNN list, this Lululemon Metal Vent Tech Polo 2.0, $98.
Is it Lululemon? Isn't that a ladies, a ladies
well,
brand?
you know, they got man
Is that even how
stuff.
you say it?
I don't know.
No. My wife's super into Lululemon. She loves
Okay.
it. She buys a lot of stuff from thrift stores, and then she'll resell the stuff.
Huh.
But she loves, wearing the stuff. I mean, it's good. It's really, really high quality workout stuff.
But a $98 polo,
no, do not buy
Please
your
don't.
dad a $98 polo.
No.
I mean,
unless
no.
you're swimming in money.
I guess so, but
Oh,
I'd be like,
I'm gonna have to
Really?
cut you off right there, Tim. I
No.
don't have a $98 polo, but I have a $70 polo that I
No.
bought. Yeah, I needed a shirt for like a Braves game, and it was gonna be 98 degrees. It was after work. I couldn't go home. I was like, this thing looks like it's gonna be super cool, like chill, right? It's the greatest sweater or shirt that I've ever worn. It's so
Did you
comfortable.
buy it at the stadium?
No. I bought it. It was at like a sporting goods store.
Okay.
you don't think it's just a placebo because you spent
Absolutely
$70
not. It is
on
not a placebo because I want to get more, but I'm like, there's no way I can buy another one of these. Anyway, so I'm going to say go buy the $98.
I have a general for clothing. Clothing for most people is like pretty personal. So unless you know,
Yes.
Yeah, right. I'm
like if
with you
there's
there.
a website that
agree.
like my wife knows there's a couple websites that, one of our sponsors for the show 1776, like almost
One of them, you mean the only?
No, I mean they're beating down the door. But if she buys a shirt from there and knows my size, that's probably a
good to
pretty
go.
good bet.
Safe
but
bet.
otherwise, like a lot of clothing, there's a lot of shoes on these lists that we probably can skip over. But like that's another thing. Like that's such a
Yeah, I mean, there is
personal taste
this
thing.
Olo Kai Kaiu Kahani sneaker.
They're Hawaiian.
Look, $130 for look, the shoes look fine. I'm like, okay, I'd wear those. They look great. $130, I'm gonna
If
pass.
it's over $20, Tim's going to get caught up on that price. So we're going to have to bypass a lot of this stuff.
All right, let me go to another one here from the CNN list. A Globe-In subscription. So it's $114 for 3 months. What is Globe-In? Well, Globe-In sends boxes of handcrafted, fair trade,
that's one of my
and
picks.
artisanal products each month. The items vary widely, and you can get anything from handcrafted mugs to beanies and chocolate from around the world.
Wow, that sounds like
So
a deal.
all you have to do is pay $114
For 3 months.
3 months, and you can get artisanal beanies.
You know, something you said subscription. Back in the day, one of my go-tos for when somebody said, "What do you want for Christmas?" and I had no idea what I wanted, I'd be like, "Get me a magazine subscription." Because it was cheap.
Really?
Yeah, it was
a
cheap.
good one.
It gave throughout the whole year.
and they'd probably forget not to renew.
They don't, yeah, they
And then
don't.
they're-
And so you get 2 years out of it, and I'd forget about it. So it'd be like hey, it's February. Here's the.
that was something good when we
Yeah,
had simpler
but you don't
times.
have. Do we have magazines anymore?
No, because
Yeah.
simpler times it would be a surprise. Like the new car and driver would show up. And be
Right.
Like, whoa! I forgot. What a
so
day.
now you can do the Globetrotter subscription.
the
What was it
Globe-In.
called? Globe-In.
Yeah. All right.
Another one of these is a coffee subscription service. Now, that in and of itself, I'm like, okay,
doesn't sound too bad.
No, that doesn't sound bad at all. Definitely do that. Now, what you need to do is you need to get East Pole Coffee based out of here in
I was
Atlanta.
just going to say we're about to pull the trigger on some subscription on East Pole.
Okay.
Okay, and we know the three owners, I guess the three main owners of East Pole Coffee, and they are legitimately probably the best coffee roaster in Atlanta.
Agree.
They're on all these kind of lists and food and wine.
And
Anyways,
they personally go to Columbia to see where they're getting their
actually
beans.
have.
Yes.
They actually have. And anyway, so they have subscription services, so I would highly recommend that. What is it? Eastpole.coffee, I think, is their website.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
We'll
Anyway.
post it on the internet.
For sure.
Okay, here's one that's actually on CNN that's actually kind of decent. A Lodge brand cast iron skillet.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I've
like,
actually been thinking
if you
about getting
don't-
one.
Yeah, if you don't have one, that's just a solid addition to the kitchen. We've recently got one.
Feels like a Mother's Day
At
gift
20
idea in my house.
How dare
I'm not, no.
you?
Oh
I'm not,
my
I'm
goodness,
just saying, I don't.
How dare you?
Let
I'm
me just-
thinking I don't really do any cooking.
Look,
so
let
what am
me
I going to do
just-
with a cast iron
Okay.
skillet?
Let me just take a minute here because I'm actually on the cusp of taking over near 100% of the cooking in my household. So it's kind of been in the works for a while, and I'm thinking about doing it, and I actually enjoy cooking.
Good for you.
I had looked into cast iron skillets months ago, and so I might.
Yeah, $23 for a 12-inch skillet.
That seems like a deal.
And as far as I know,
That's pretty solid. That might be a go-to. Like if you're really scrambling here.
Oh, for sure. I want to say that I think that Lodge brand, I think it's just kind of industry standard.
Yes,
It's just like,
that's the
okay,
one.
that's just like what you
Yep.
get.
Yep.
So that's a solid right there. Get your dad a cast iron skillet.
There you go.
If nothing else, he can bring that camping, put that joker on the open fire on the
Yep.
coals or something. Who
Yep.
knows? I don't know. That's a great gift.
Okay, I got one. Every dad needs an ice cooler. All right. So get yourself here on the CNN list is the Coleman 54 quart cooler starting at $81. This thing looks nice.
It's the old school stainless steel.
Yeah,
like
see?
it looks like
Yeah.
1960.
I'm digging this.
I mean, this
that-
is going to last you. This is a lifetime cooler, probably.
I'll leave my coolers outside, so it might not be good for me. But like the Yeti cooler for $400, who's buying that thing? Come on, let's get real. So yeah, get yourself the Coleman 54 quart cooler for your man, for your husband, for your dad.
It's got the retro look.
I will
does.
say,
It
what
looks-
do you guys think?
looks
though?
dope.
I've never understood the Yeti things, but it's not necessarily for the price tag, which it is. It's for the fact that it doesn't have wheels.
Yeah, you can't roll it.
Look, I gotta have wheels on the cooler.
Coolers
What
are heavy.
Those coolers are heavy.
Yeah.
especially
super
loaded up.
heavy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
what are you doing
You
with
got
that?
it. Does this thing have wheels? I don't think
No,
it
it
does.
doesn't. I mean, but it's got. I don't know.
Get yourself a cart.
That thing's more of a standard size, though. Hopefully,
It's a good looking cooler.
All right, let's do a couple more here. Let's switch over to the other list, the Today Show list. I'm seeing some things that we ran across last year. Some like spice gift sets and hot sauce gift sets. If you have a connoisseur of hot sauces or spices, or a dad that super into grilling, I guess it could be good.
A lot of guys are into hot sauce. It's not really my thing, but there are a lot of people out there who love some hot sauce. We got some slippers here, Acorn moccasin slippers. This is the kind of thing that I would never buy. I'm never going to buy myself some slippers, right? It's just not going to happen because number one, I don't think about it. And number two, why would I buy myself slippers? But if I had some laying around, I'd probably enjoy them. You know what I'm saying?
I think these are probably coming to me on Father's Day, some slippers, because we do a little
jealous.
We do a little weekly Zoom meeting with my wife's cousin from New York, and he was showing off his slippers, and he's like, "Dude, it's a life changer."
He sounds like a man's man.
And he's like, "I would never buy them for myself."
I do not do slippers. Look, I gotta be ready to
it's
go.
like me and sandals. I don't do
Okay?
sandals.
I gotta be ready to go. I'm
No.
gonna be going in slippers.
You need to be able to either kick somebody or run away from somebody
here's
at
my
all
plan.
times.
Here's my plan: with slippers, you just kick them off, and then it's
And
game
then you're good to
on.
go.
Yeah.
Tim, here's one for you: the Amazon Essentials polo shirt for $12.
Heck yes.
That is
okay.
right
I
up
got to
your
talk
alley.
about Amazon, y'all, because I got a button-up shirt. They call it the Amazon. It's
Good
basically
threads.
yes, good threads. The thing is nice.
Yeah?
it's decently priced,
I'm wearing Good Thread shorts right now.
See,
good quality.
hang on, let me feel those things. Those feel all right. I want to talk to you guys in a year if they hold up because that's my big thing.
right.
I don't buy clothes very often at all. I need my stuff to hold up.
All right, here's something not to buy your father: a custom dad star map. Okay, now I mean, look, Josh Palmer, who was on a guest on the show, super into astronomy, Maybe he would like this.
Get it for JP.
Don't buy it for me. If you're looking, here's the little synopsis. If you're looking for something truly unique, this custom star map is sure to take him by surprise. It includes constellations for dates of your choosing, all printed on high quality plywood. And that's running you $45.
Okay, so I got a proven winner right here. This thing jumped out at me. It's the Zazzle Create Your Own Photo Golf Balls. And it's got like the family photo on this golf ball. It looks really tiny though. I don't know if you'd be able to see it, but that'd be kind of awesome. Cruising down the fairway with your very own personalized golf ball.
Don't buy me that. That's a phone it in. That's a phone it in gift.
I did see the Best Dad Ever shirt on here, but they had to
It was a mug, I think, wasn't it? No.
It was
Yeah,
a shirt.
the one guy.
Best Dad Ever.
Yeah, don't wear that.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's probably enough for these lists. So let's
move on to the official
the real
You
list.
Can Man Father's Day gift guide. Now, what we decided is we may actually add more to this list that will appear on our show notes. But for now, I think we're just going to each throw out maybe two, maybe three each, but probably two each. And I'm going to go first.
Please do.
Guys. You guys ready? Now, look, pretty sure this was on my list last year, but it deserves to be on it again because I use these things all the time and your dad will love them. Don't think about it. Just buy them. The 3M Bluetooth Work Tunes.
Yes.
3M Work Tunes. Now, these are 3M already made great ear protection. So these are over the ear muff ear protection. So you can just use them as just that. But they have headphones in them with Bluetooth. I use these things all the time. It was a major game changer cutting the grass, but I also use them when I'm running the table saw, the miter saw. Awesome. The battery is amazing on it. I don't know there's a single time that I don't turn those things on and it always says battery high. I'm like, I've used it all day. How's the battery high?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever changed the batteries in mine, and I've had them
mine
over a
doesn't
year.
have changeable batteries.
Yeah, so mine has mine are double A's.
Now
Change them
Josh
out.
has got y'all have got the fancy
Right.
ones.
So, which I actually would not recommend those.
What, the Bluetooth?
Yeah. So I have the
Really?
Bluetooth ones like you do. I don't ever use the Bluetooth.
I thought you guys had the AM/FM.
Okay,
Okay,
you have the
that,
AM/FM, and that's what I like. I like the AM/FM. I don't dig the Bluetooth because the sound quality it's not.
Really?
Yeah, it's not good.
Mine are fine.
Maybe I have a bad pair, but
Now you guys had the combo though. You had the Bluetooth
Right.
with the AM/FM. So I don't have that. All I have is the Bluetooth.
it's just straight up Bluetooth.
If
Well,
just
either way,
Bluetooth.
I love them. I use them all the time.
Yeah, if we had MLB baseball going, I would appreciate the AM/FM, but right now I don't need it. That's really the only thing I would listen to is baseball games.
Oh, I just listen to sports talk radio while I'm mowing the lawn. I'm such an old man. Yeah,
I get enough of that on the way to work when we used to go to work.
can't get enough of it.
All right, so Tim's got 3M headphones. They probably owe us some money because we promote them.
would say
like
so.
every other show.
all the time. I mean, they've shown up. I think they showed up on our Christmas gift guide as well.
Yes. All right. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. Well, it's along the same lines. I'm pulling up some AirPods because I've got a pair. Thought I wouldn't like them before I had some, and then I got some, and they're the best things ever. I wear them working out. You can buy little adapter headphone, earpieces for sports, like little rubberized. The AirPods Pro kind of already come with that. So the Pros are going to run you $250. The regular AirPods are running $160. I just have the regular AirPods, but they're great. I washed them. I think the one that I thought had lost sound came back. So
What you washed them on accident?
on accident, yeah, I ran them through the washer, like not just
Jeez,
washed
like
them.
the full on,
Full
all the
cycle,
way.
not through the dryer. Anyway, they work. I love them. They're convenient. No strings. You can work out in them.
No strings.
Excellent.
All right, so mine, I've said it. Look, I don't know how many times I've said this into a microphone. Still hasn't shown up on Father's Day. Dave needs a laser level. All right, so I was eyeing the Bosch laser level, the green one at Home Depot. A couple weekends ago, I was like, I'm just gonna pull the trigger. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
They're enough money where you're like, you just can't go get it.
Yeah, it's like what they're like $100 or something like that.
No, they're like 140.
Okay, $140. Yeah, I'm like, I just can't do it. I'm not going to use it that often. But both of you guys swear by them, right?
Yeah, Tim borrowed mine.
Well, I don't own one, and I just used Josh's. That was the first time this is so weird to say, but I think it was the first time I'd really used a laser level on a project. And I was like, this is life changing.
Yeah.
I don't know how I did all these other projects without this because I was able to shoot a line on the wall. And before, I would have been getting measurements off likely an uneven floor.
Right.
And
well, especially now with this loft bed project, you got beds on 2 different walls.
That's
so
what,
like,
that's
how
exactly
are you going to try
what
to project across without a laser?
And
level?
it's
exactly
self-leveling,
what I did.
right?
Yes,
So it doesn't
self-leveling.
matter what you put it on.
Yes.
I loved it. It was amazing.
Yep.
So
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah,
That's a solid gift if you want to spend over 100.
Yeah, they're kind
$100.
of pricey, so I get it. It's not an easy
But you
thing
know
to
what?
pick up.
If your dad's handy, now look, if your dad doesn't do anything handy, don't get him the laser level. But man, if he's at all handy, he will be impressed. Even if he doesn't even know how to use it, he'll just feel awesome.
Yeah, that's legit.
all right, I've got a very inexpensive one that has shown up on another list, but I love it so much that I got to say it again. Okay.
Harbor Freight.
Now, look, no, they don't have it at Harbor Freight. They should have them at Harbor Freight. Anyhow, you've all heard about you need a good stud finder, okay? And you can run the gamut and spend some money on these expensive stud finders, and they'll do all these fancy things for you and beep, and they got the lights and all this stuff. No, throw it in the trash. You don't need that. Get your dad a magnetic stud finder. C.H. Hansen magnetic stud finder.
How does a magnetic
most-
stud finder work?
Listen,
Most
this thing is
basic tool.
$7.48 on Amazon. You need to pick one up. My sister-in-law actually gave this to me a couple Christmases ago, and it's just a high-powered little magnet. And you run it over the wall, and you look for the
Finds the
heads of the
nail?
screws of the nails in the
Yep.
drywall.
Yep.
You
posted, or people we posted it or people responded to that previous podcast that you mentioned it on. And it seems like the world is split on this. Half the people were like totally in your boat. Like, yes, this is a must have. All other stud finders are trash. And then the other half of people are like, I don't understand.
I'm gonna
It's
try it
so
out.
easy.
I've got to try it out because I hate every stud finder I've ever used because
That's what
they're
I'm
all
saying.
so finicky and it's like, well, this one's center finder, this one finds the edge. It never works. Like I always end up missing the stud. I'm like, what the heck?
Well, here's what you do. Because when the drywall, they're installing the drywall, they're probably not going to get the nails directly in the center of the stud all the time.
Yep.
So you just verify. You go up,
Run it up the length.
roll it,
Yeah.
go up the length, and you just kind of feel the middle of what that is, and it doesn't fail you. How can it fail you?
if you have a laser level, you can find one and then shoot
Run-
the
shoot
rest
your
of
laser.
shoot a line. And now that's provided your stud's actually plumb.
Well, I would do
But-
a couple marks.
Yeah.
Just
This
find
is
a
true.
couple screws and then find the average.
But
You're good.
for $7.48,
Not
you
going wrong.
cannot go wrong.
true.
Super simple gift. Get it for your dad.
All right, I'm gonna do a sub $100 one here. Super useful. I've lent this tool out. That's kind of how you know a tool's good, is if you lend it, like the laser level. Pole saw. What's a pole saw? Well, it's for trimming or pruning tall branches, trees that you can't reach normally from the ground or even with a ladder. They run different lengths, so it's a long pole with a saw on the end, just like it says, pole saw. And you can get way on up. This one in particular, it's a fiberglass, $90 at one of the big box stores. 16 feet extension. I mean, that's way on up there, plus your height. And the blade's nice and sharp. It's kind of a Japanese style pruning blade, so you can
Okay.
cut some big limbs.
What
if
does
you
it
need to.
collapse down into, though?
It collapsed down into about 9 feet. It's pretty tall.
Ooh,
It fits in my
I don't
garage.
know.
It fits in when you collapse it down. It fits in the garage. Like I can lean it up against the wall.
Okay.
I need to borrow your pole saw.
It'd probably just be best if you have a rack, like a horizontal rack. That would probably be best. if you have the room. Oh, it's so awesome. I've lent it out. And it has, so one end is the saw, the other end is a pull string that you can use as like loppers.
Yes.
So if you have smaller branches, you can just put it in the little hook, yank the string, chops the branch.
Love it. That's a strong need. All right. So, Tim, I've got a Father's Day gift idea for you. Okay.
Oh.
Because look, I pull up and I park in front of your house once a week, maybe twice a week. And every time I do, I get stressed out because it just bugs me when people don't edge their yard properly. Okay. And yours looks like you had a blind man out there with a daggum like shovel.
You're about to receive the wrath.
So I need,
Yeah, you are.
I need you to get a flipping just an edger.
No, look.
Go out there and edge,
He can't. You don't understand.
You do not understand.
Well, I don't
my law.
understand. Or just use a trimmer.
It's hilarious that you said something about a blind man with a shovel. What did you say? Somebody with a shovel. That's exactly what I did, Dave.
What?
took
We
a
used a
shovel.
shovel.
Yes, I used a flat shovel. I do that every year.
What is wrong with you?
Look,
just get your trimmer out.
He only has
no.
to do it once a year.
Look,
That's the idea behind
I
it.
got centipede grass, and that mess will just grow right over that curb.
Yeah,
So,
you hit it once a week.
no, well, yeah. If you're out there, if you're out there once a week. Now I got a trimmer.
out there once a
I
week.
have a trimmer. I've got an edger.
You have an edger and you use a shovel?
Well, I'll use the edger along the driveway, but you're talking about along the street.
Yeah, on the street.
Okay, so Dave's talking about. Did I not do a post about this on the UK Man group page?
No, I think
I
you did an Instagram maybe. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
I will actually, because you got to create the air gap, Dave. Okay.
What's the air gap for?
The air gap is where you
Kills
take
the
out
roots.
all the soil in between the concrete and the grass. And I have centipede grass, and it will just
That
grow
grows out, right?
It'll just grow right over the
It's
curb.
a creeping grass.
So I literally take out a massive. I mean,
you took out a
what is
mat.
it,
It's like 6 inches.
It's a wedge. It's a
I don't
wedge
know
of
if it's
dirt.
6 inches, but
In
it will,
spots.
it will come back
Well,
because things fall down in there. It turns to soil.
Oh.
The grass will come back over.
It'll
Yeah.
come back in
I
about
think,
10 years.
I think you're also, since you've got the slope coming down to the street, that thing
Yes.
actually, I mean, is migrating like over time. You know, the whole side of that hill, just like you said, any loose dirt, it all gets washed down the hill and deposited right back.
Exactly.
So
onto
this
that
is like
curb.
the opposite of erosion control for you. You were like, I'm digging back. to
Yeah,
control
because
it
it'll fill back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, think about it. All right.
He did.
Okay.
He does the ultimate edging with the.
He does
shovel.
do the ultimate
he fills
edging.
like a wheelbarrow full of debris, like
Yeah, and
dirt
then I
lawn.
actually transplant it to other areas in my yard. I kid you not. That's what I do.
Man.
So-
All right. Well, I guess you have a system in place. So
Yeah. Okay. I've got another one. I use these things all the time. Bora Centipede Work Stand. It's a collapsible. I'll see if I can explain this.
I'm
but,
jealous of this tool.
Well, you can borrow it anytime you want,
Thanks,
Josh. It's a collapsible. It's basically like a sawhorse alternative.
Yeah.
So it collapses down. What is the best way to
It's
describe
kind of like
this
if you
thing?
have a canopy tent.
Yes.
You have
Yes.
a canopy tent. It unfurls like a canopy tent.
it turns into a table.
Turns
Well,
into a
if you
table.
put a piece of plywood on it, yes. It's got these little attachments that you slip into each pole, and you can put like 2x4s in it, and then you can put like a 4x8 sheet of plywood on it. I've got two 2x4 sections of it, and then I can make that. I can put a 4x8 sheet of plywood on it, and it makes a nice big work surface. Now,
super stable, way better than putting two sawhorses
exactly.
with a big
Yeah,
sag in
they're
the middle.
never
of your sheet of
level and,
plywood.
Yeah, you're gonna think that this thing is not gonna be able to hold a lot of weight, but it can hold an insane amount of weight, and it's very, very stable. They have videos on their website where it shows like stacking up all these sheets of drywall or something on these things. They can hold a ton of weight, and they collapse down. They've got these little bags that they come in, and it's awesome because you can essentially make your own little, workshop, because I don't have the room to have a workshop that's just dedicated that I can have out there like some massive 4x8 work table.
Right.
Yep.
But if I'm working on a project, I can kind of back the car out of the garage, set these things up, and then throw a 4x8 sheet of plywood on it, and I'm good to go. So check into those. Bora Centipede. They have it in 2x4 sections, 4x4, and then of course a 4x8. I've got 2 of the 2x4 sections, and it works really well for me. Okay, I think that's going to wrap up the Father's Day Gift Guide 2020. Now, we may add a couple more, we think,
Round
maybe
out
to
the
this
list.
to round out the list. But hopefully this giving you guys a good, solid idea of what to get your dad and what not to get your dad.
These are like the ones we mentioned. You can't go wrong. Like,
Solid gift ideas.
Buy the dad in your life a tool, and he'll be happy.
there you go.
Yes. So check out our show notes that you'll find on ukandman.com for the links to all of these products that we mentioned. We'll be back after the break.
This episode is sponsored by 1776 United. 1776 United is a patriotic and historically inspired lifestyle brand. They make the best patriotic shirts and apparel on the market today. I personally own many of their products, and if you want to don patriotic gear without looking gaudy, check them out on Instagram, Facebook, and at 1776united.com.
All right, guys, welcome back. It's actually my week for the segment, and it's been a minute that I've had a segment on an old man topic. All right, you guys ready for this?
You covered pears. You covered the American chestnut.
We got the migratory.
Wait, when did
pigeon.
I cover pears?
You've covered pears.
Yeah, when did he cover
Right.
pears?
I don't.
Your pear tree.
No, I think I just talked about it. I'm just thinking, like, are you reading my mind right now? Because I'm about to talk about pear
sorry.
trees.
Snap.
You've mentioned that your pear trees, so I'm just going over
Okay.
your old man
Well,
topics.
you know what? And this topic does have to do somewhat with my pear tree. But I'm going to talk about how if you've got a Bradford pear tree in your yard, you need to crank up the chainsaw and you need to go cut it down today.
I
okay.
agree.
I agree too, and I think I know where you're going, and I can't wait.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of details, and there are a lot. There are a lot of details that you can go in and research.
What's the internet say about Bradford pears?
I mean, it just runs the gamut. There's so much
They're
information.
everywhere, aren't there? Like
Yes.
everybody's got a Bradford pear.
So essentially from the 1960s through the 90s, kind of into the 2000s, it was the go-to suburban ornamental streetscape tree.
Fast growing.
Yes,
Lots of
especially
leaves.
here in Atlanta. I feel like in the 90s,
Yep.
it was like the tree that home builders
They're
planted.
like, just put one of these between the houses.
Yes. It's got a great shape. I'll give it that. And that's why people just love it. It's, it produces beautiful white blooms. It has
They
a
grow
great,
fast.
they grow fast. It has a great shape to it. However, it's highly invasive. And well, the offshoots of it are highly invasive. So what basically ended up happening is it's like some sort of crazy crossbreeding. I'm not going to get into all of it, but it's wreaking havoc. Especially, actually, I mentioned, or one of the articles mentioned Alabama for some reason. I don't know if
Okay.
they're just hit hard with it or what, but there's some
scourge of Bradford
certain
pears.
variant that came out of the Bradford pear that has these thorny stems on it.
Ooh.
Now, I think I've got one growing out of my normal, well, I don't know exactly what variety pear tree it is, but like actual legitimate good pear tree that I have just off my lot. It's actually not on my lot, but I just kind of claim it as
You
my own.
consider it your lot. Okay.
And I've got this other shoot coming up from the base of this thing.
Go get your edging
is-
shovel out.
That is not the same type of tree as my pear. And I think the dirty
sounds
Bradford pear
terrible.
is done cross-pollinated somehow with my pear tree.
No way.
And it's trying to take over. So
You
I'm
need
going to be
call
cutting that down.
Walter Reeves replacement.
Yeah,
What's
I
her
like
name?
it.
Ashley.
Uh,
Ashley Frasca,
Oh, okay.
Walter Reeves replacement.
Yeah, call
Okay,
in.
Josh is talking about our local. What is it? What do you call
Lawn
it?
and garden expert.
Yeah, he's a Georgia gardener,
Yeah.
really. So if you live in Georgia, you've definitely heard the name Walter Reeves. But if you're in another part of the country, maybe not, or maybe you have. But he's he's been doing that for decades.
Just
He has
retired.
a long-standing gardening show. So whenever somebody talks about any sort of gardening thing in and around Atlanta, they always mention, call Walter Reeves and see what he says about it. But Bradford pears, man, have you guys ever seen where Bradford pears have just split?
Oh,
They fall
gosh,
apart
all the time.
They just
Yeah.
My parents had one when I was a kid, and the thing just fell apart like in the middle of the road. They just die after however many years.
Well, they're weak. They're like unstable. They'll
Yes.
get to a certain size and then just limbs
they go
will start
quick.
just coming down.
They go
Yeah,
real
so
quick.
that's just one of the reasons why you need to get rid of it. One of the other massive reasons is the blooms absolutely reek.
Yeah, they don't smell good.
They do not smell good at all. They look really pretty. I will give you that. They are beautiful white blooms. And again, it has a great shape. But other than that, it needs to die. It needs to die because it is wreaking havoc across the country. I mean, these things are everywhere. I mean, it's all through the South, going all the way over to California, all the way up to Maryland. So look, guys, just
cut it
public
down.
service announcement. If you've got a Bradford pear, you know what? Just go buy a chainsaw just to cut it down.
An
It's a
electric
reason-
chainsaw
yeah.
would work.
Yes. And you may, that thing may just keep coming back. Just spray that thing with whatever you got and kill it.
Take it out back.
All right. That's all I've really got. I mean,
That's a
I
good
think,
PSA.
I think we're all in
Yeah.
agreement that the Bradford pear, it just got to go, man.
What
Yeah.
about the ones that are by your neighbor?
no, those are definitely Bradford
Yeah,
pears.
I know.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. What do I do?
Accidents happen.
Nolan, if you're listening, bro, cut those things down. He's not, but hey, maybe he is. I don't know. All right, that's gonna do it for this week's show. Definitely make sure to check out our show notes at youcanman.com. Now, when I say show notes, I mean our blog post on the actual website, not our. If you look up Apple Podcasts on the show notes, we're not going to list all the links there. We're going to do that on our website. So we will be posting the links to our Facebook page and group page so you can check out all the products that we mentioned and get your dad something good for this Father's Day. We will catch you guys next time.